These are 25 beloved British high street chains that we all thought would last forever. Shops, restaurants and brands woven into the fabric of everyday life in Britain, some of them for centuries, all of them now barely recognizable. Together, they represent over 2,000 years of combined trading history, hundreds of thousands of jobs, and millions upon millions of memories. And the scariest part? Most of them disappeared in just the last decade. Start with the numbers, because they're staggering. In 2024 alone, around 13,500 stores shut for good across the UK. That's more than 35 shops disappearing every single day. Nearly 170,000 retail workers lost their jobs that year. 38 major retailers went into administration. And 2025 was projected to be even worse, with an estimated 17,350 closures and potentially over 200,000 jobs lost. Retail employs 2.8 million people in the UK, roughly 8.5% of the entire workforce. When the high street dies, it does not just change the scenery, it changes lives. So let's talk about the chains that shaped Britain, starting with the big ones. Number 1. Woolworths. If you grew up in Britain, you knew Woolworths. The first UK store opened in Liverpool on the 5th of November, 1909. At their peak in the 1920s, they were opening a new shop every 17 days. By the late 90s, they were posting record profits of over £105 million. The pick N mix counter alone was practically a national institution. Kids hovering over those plastic bins like they were choosing precious gems. But here's the thing about empires. They look invincible, right up until the moment they're not. Rent bills doubled from 70 million to 160 million pounds. Discount chains like Poundland ate into their market from below. Argos attacked from above. Then the 2008 financial crisis hit like a wrecking ball. Woolworths entered administration on the 26th of November 2008, and by the 6th of January 2009, all 807 stores were gone. 27,000 people out of work. 99 years of history erased in just 42 days. Business analysts called it the bleakest day in retail history. The business took 99 years to build and closed 11 months before its centenary. They couldn't even make it to 100. Here's a wild detail, though. The biggest single occupant of former Woolworths sites today. Poundland, sitting in 134 of them. The discount chain that helped kill Woolworths literally moved into its corpse. And there's a twist. A German company called Woolworth GmbH announced in 2024 that the UK was on their bucket list for international expansion. So Woolworths might actually come back, just not the one you remember. Number 2. BHS. British home stores traded for 88 years, from 1928 to 2016. But the story of BHS isn't really about retail decline. It's about greed. Sir Philip Green bought BHS for £200 million in 2000. Over the next 15 years, he funneled at least £1.5 billion out of the company through a web of offshore entities, paying dividends to his wife, a Monaco resident, conveniently avoiding UK tax. He let the pension fund swing from a surplus to a £571 million deficit. Then, in 2015, he sold the entire company for £1, and he sold it to Dominic Chappell, a thrice-bankrupt former racing driver with zero retail experience. 14 months later, BHS was dead. 164 stores closed. 11,000 workers lost their jobs. 22,000 people, including retirees, lost much of their pensions. The House of Commons Select Committee called Green the unacceptable face of capitalism. His response to ITV News: "I am sad and very sorry for the hardship caused by the collapse of BHS. Sad and very sorry, with 1.5 billion already in the bank. As of today, one single BHS store still trades. In Qatar." Let that sink in. Number 3. Debenhams. 243 years. Let me say that again. 243 years of continuous trading, stretching all the way back to 1778, when William Clark opened a draper's shop on Wigmore Street in London. That is before the French Revolution, before the steam locomotive. This business predated the United States as a country. At its peak, Debenhams had 178 locations across Britain. But by 2018, it posted a pre-tax loss of £491 million, the largest in its history. It entered administration twice, in 2019 and again in 2020. Then Boohoo, an online fast fashion retailer, swooped in and bought the brand and website for $55 million, but did not keep a single store. 12,000 jobs gone. On the 15th of May, 2021, the last doors closed, and 2.5 centuries of British retail history simply ended. Number 4. Topshop and the Arcadia Group. This was Sir Philip Green's other empire, and yes, it met a similar fate. Arcadia encompassed Topshop, Topman, Burton, Dorothy Perkins, Evans, Miss Selfridge, Wallace and Warehouse, with over 2,500 outlets across the UK at its height. The group went into administration on the 30th of November 2020. ASOS picked up Topshop, Topman and Miss Selfridge for $265 million, but kept none of the 70 stores. Boohoo got Burton, Dorothy Perkins and Wallace for just $25.2 million. And again, no stores. Nearly 5,000 jobs at risk between the two deals. The brands survived as labels on websites. The shops, the jobs, the communities they served, all gone. Number 5. Thomas Cook. 178 years of history. Thomas Cook literally invented the package holiday, starting with local rail excursions in 1841, growing to serve 19 million people a year across 16 countries, operating hotels, resorts, and airlines. The company was headquartered in Manchester, a city that built empires of its own. On the 23rd of September 2019, it all stopped. 26 companies ceased trading overnight. 150,000 customers were stranded overseas, 50,000 in Greece, 30,000 in Spain's Canary Islands, 21,000 in Turkey, 15,000 in Cyprus, 9,000 employees made redundant. The British government launched Operation Matterhorn, the largest peacetime repatriation in UK history, costing over $120 million to bring everyone home. All of it caused by a $2.1 billion debt pile built up through years of bad deals that left the company unable to compete with online travel agencies. CEO Peter Fankhauser said, "I would like to apologize to our millions of customers and thousands of employees suppliers and partners who have supported us for many years. An apology for 178 years ending overnight. Number 6. Wilko. A family business founded in Leicester in 1930 by James Kelsey Wilkinson. Still family-owned when it died 93 years later. 408 locations. 12,000 jobs. B&M swooped in and bought just 51 of those stores for a maximum of £13 million. The rest simply ceased to exist. Number 7. Toys R Us. 105 stores, 3,000 staff, brought down by $5 billion of debt from its US parent company's leveraged buyout. Kids' play habits changed. Supermarkets started selling toys, and the internet ate the rest. Amazon, in particular, made it almost impossible to justify a special trip to a big box toy store when the same product arrived at your door the next day. All UK stores were gone by 2018. Number 8. Ted Baker. At its peak, 500 shops and concessions worldwide. A desirable, high-status Glasgow-born fashion brand. Then, in 2019, founder Ray Kelvin resigned amid allegations of misconduct, including so-called forced hugging, and the brand never recovered. Administrators were called in March 2024, and by August, all United Kingdom stores were closing. Kelvin had named the company after a fictional alter ego he described as an intrepid aviator, an all-round sportsman, and the consort of princesses and Hollywood beauties. Turns out the fantasy extended to the business plan. Number 9. Mothercare. From a 50-store chain bought by Iraqi British businessman Selim Zilka in 1961 to a London Stock Exchange stalwart, Mothercare was where Britain went to prepare for parenthood. Large, costly stores and the shift to online shopping proved fatal, and all UK locations closed by 2019. The irony of a store called Mothercare failing to nurture its own survival is almost too much. Number 10. W.H. Smith on the High Street. This one hurts because they are technically still around, just not where you'd expect. W.H. Smith is Britain's second oldest chain, established in 1792, and during the 1960s, half the UK population bought their newspapers from Smiths. But in 2025, the company sold its entire high street operation for £76 million. 480 stores were rebranded as T.G. Jones. The W.H. Smith name now lives only in airports and train stations. 233 years on the high street. Gone. Number 11. Homebase. The DIY chain shut its remaining 65 stores between January and March 2025 after falling into administration, squeezed by rising costs, online competition, and rivals like B&Q with stronger business models. The range owner Chris Dawson bought the brand but couldn't save all the stores. Number 12. Maplin. Over 200 stores, 2,300 staff selling electronics and tech. It went into administration in 2018. Chief Executive Officer Graham Harris directly blamed the economic fallout of Brexit, pointing to currency devaluation and the withdrawal of credit insurance as the killing blows. Number 13. The Body Shop. Founded by Anita Roddick in Brighton in 1976 as an ethical beauty pioneer, it changed hands multiple times before ending up with Aurelius, who called in administrators in February 2024, just weeks after buying the chain. Dozens of stores closed, hundreds of jobs lost. Number 14. MFI. The furniture giant couldn't survive the 2008 financial crisis and the housing market downturn, and all 111 stores closed. Number 15. Carphone Warehouse. Founded in 1989, it shut all remaining UK stores in 2020, as customers realised they could buy phones online, often through Amazon, without being talked into an insurance plan they did not need. Number 16. Game. If you were a gamer in Britain, Game was your church. But the shift to digital downloads was a death sentence for physical game retail. After a previous administration scare in 2012, Game stopped taking pre-orders in 2024 and announced the closure of all stores. Number 17. C&A. Opened in London in 1922 and became a household name, then closed all 113 UK locations in 2000 with the loss of 4,800 jobs. Here's the kicker though. C&A still operates more than 1,800 stores in 24 countries worldwide. They just decided Britain wasn't worth it anymore. Number 18. Athena. If you wanted a poster in the 70s or 80s, Athena was the only destination. That iconic image of a muscular man cradling a baby? Athena. Tennis girl? Athena. 160 stores across Britain by the 90s. But the decade's edgier tastes made Athena feel quaint, and it went bust in 1995 too. Number 19. Our Price. You probably bought your first single there. Founded in 1971, the record shop chain thrived for decades before W.H. Smith and Virgin got involved in a series of buyout deals that slowly dismantled it. The brand was eventually changed to V-Shops, which limped on until 2013. Number 20. Rumbelows. Once a leading electrical retailer on par with Currys and Dixons, by the time its final 285 stores closed in 1995, it was losing £12 million a year. Number 21. Jane Norman. The 90s favourite for 16 to 25-year-old women. 90 stores, 100 concessions, all closed in 2011 under $140 million in debt. 1,600 jobs lost. Number 22. Claire's Accessories. 306 stores, over 2,000 employees. Once the go-to destination for teenage accessories. But when your target audience discovers Shein, Instagram shops and TikTok sellers, and when Amazon stocks the same sparkly headbands for £2, your standalone retail model doesn't stand a chance. Administration in 2025, all standalone UK stores closed by April 2026. Number 23. Russell Bromley. A shoe chain dating back to 1879, with 35 outlets and 450 staff. Next acquired them in 2025, but kept only 3 stores, Chelsea, Mayfair and Bluewater, with 440 staff at risk. Number 24. Bodycare. Trading since 1970, selling toiletries and cosmetics from 150 stores. Went into administration in September 2025. No buyer was found. All remaining 56 branches closed. All 1,085 staff made redundant. Every single one. Number 25. Poundland. And yes, The same Poundland that colonised Woolworths' old sites is now in trouble itself. Sold for £1 in 2025 and forced into a major restructuring, with over 100 stores set to close by early 2026 and more than 1,000 jobs at risk. Even the vultures, it seems, eventually starve. So, what's actually killing the British High Street? It's not one thing, it's everything. Online shopping, led by Amazon, which now accounts for a staggering share of UK retail spend, has fundamentally changed consumer behaviour. UK business rates are crushing, with the average shop's bill nearly doubling from £3,500 to over £8,600. A policy burden that survivors like Marks and Spencer and John Lewis have long lobbied to reform. Long-term expensive leases lock retailers into commitments they can no longer sustain. And every economic shock, from the 2008 financial crisis to Brexit to the COVID-19 pandemic to the cost of living crisis, takes another bite. Meanwhile, Sports Direct's Mike Ashley and his Frasers Group have become the high street's unlikely undertakers, hoovering up distressed brands, while Next has quietly transformed itself into one of the few genuine retail survivors. But for every Next, there are a dozen Wilkos. Professor Joshua Bamfield of the Centre for Retail Research put it plainly. The results for 2024 were disconcerting, with worse set to come in 2025. He wasn't wrong. Here's what strikes me about this list. These weren't just shops. Woolworths was where you bought your pick and mix before the cinema. BHS was where your nan dragged you for school uniforms. Debenhams was where you sprayed perfume on those little cardboard strips. Thomas Cook was how your family got to Mallorca for the first time. These places weren't just retail spaces, they were rituals. 2,000 plus years of combined trading history, hundreds of thousands of jobs. And the high street keeps getting emptier. More chains will fall, that much is certain. The real question is whether anything meaningful will rise to take their place, or whether we will just keep scrolling past the boarded-up windows, wondering what used to be there.